Greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome in today for episode 82 of the Pod Ones podcast. I'm your host, Char J, joined by my co-host, Luke.
What's going on?
And Hereth Productions.
What's up, everybody?
Hope everyone's having a great Thursday night. Today, we're going to be talking about Season 2, Episode 16, titled Homecoming. We're going to be getting into a deep dive about Hereth's history with her dad, Cham Syndulla, and we're going to be seeing a big heist of taking over a ship and seeing what happens there. So, we have one guest on today, and he is making his debut to our show. But before we start, Luke, Hereth, are we ready?
Yeah.
Let's go.
The Jedi Knights are all but destroyed, and yet your task is not complete, Inquisitor. The Emperor has foreseen a new threat rising against him. The Podwans Podcast.
We are back. Okay.
I love that. So I make a comment about it every fucking time.
Oh, yeah. The thing that makes me mad is put in the private chat. I'll say it out loud. Chris did send me the recording. I just forgot to edit it because I've been busy.
Dang it!
I had it in my it's in my computer right now. I just haven't done it.
Well,
Quick shout out to Chris at Star Wars Lawyer for making that beautiful introduction to our show. So I just want to say thank you to him. If you're in the chat, say hello. How are you? But anyway, we have one guest on today, and he is making his debut to our podcast. He has been on for one of our Book of Boba Fett watch-alongs, and he's making his debut for our Rebels show. Let's bring in the co-host of Dark Side Divas, Chris.
Hello there.
Hey, Chris. Been like Char said, you've been on for Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
But I like not to fanboy or fangirl or whatever, but like I love you and Steph shit. It's so it's so good, and you guys are so amazing. But where can the good people follow you so that you can get more people to
Oh, I mean, I do Dark Side. I'm the gay guy on Dark Side Divas, the gay guy on Marvelous Divas, and one of many gay people and queer people on For Light and Dice, which is my newer podcast. So you can follow any one of those. We're on Twitter, TikTok. We're very active on TikTok. That's generally where we attack our fans all the time, and we have a good time with it.
Absolutely. Awesome. I honestly, I am listening to you guys talk about Obi-Wan, and I'm just like, God damn it! Like this is just so much fun to listen to. So
yeah, we love the trauma. It's good times. We've only broken down and cried a couple times for that one, so that's a good time.
I mean, Chris, you've seen my reaction to when that first trailer came out, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Can you talk about it? Like that's traumatizing, and that was like maybe 3 seconds into that trailer.
Oh, that is nothing. I always reference the hotel room.
Okay.
Kenobi,
right,
episode
fine.
2.
All right. So well, this will just be our little banter section. So basically, and this is a great fucking story.
You have to tell the whole story. Tell the whole story.
So we'll start
because y'all were at Celebration, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So Friday, so I was able to get a wristband for the Kenobi premiere from Nick from
Codename Fulcrum.
Fulcrum. And that was the same moment that Hayden and Ewan came out on the Celebration stage. And I went one way, everybody went the other. And so then fast forward a little bit, I get in. I watch only the first episode because we had to record our trivia tournament.
Oh, wow.
Because it was between Chaco and Element, and we were doing it at their Airbnb.
Mm-hmm.
I walk into the Airbnb and I go, y'all motherfuckers ain't ready for this shit. And I just kept saying that. And then during the match, I referenced it. I referenced something that happened. Somebody said,
Char. Char said it.
Char goes, man, it's going to be, I wonder if they're going to give us any flashbacks to the prequels. And I go, meh.
And then I edited and had like a GTA busted over Luke's face.
So Alanis Natakyber was flying in, and she was freaking out, all this and stuff. But earlier in the day, Hereth's parents were like, hey, why don't you just watch it at our hotel? We can do this and that. Come to find out, they had gotten us a full bar food, and they had gone to Best Buy and bought a fucking Roku TV.
It was like a 55-inch 4K
What?
Roku TV.
Wow.
I'm like,
I go,
oh my god.
I go, what the fuck is this? So we start watching the first episode, and like I'm just sitting back because I had watched it with a whole crowd at that point, that first episode. And I was like, oh man, this is so much fun to watch everybody's reactions. And then the second episode came up, and I just sat down next to Alanis, who now that's kind of like the first, like that's kind of how we started dating, was that kind of celebration. We had been talking for a while, but I'm not going to get into that. That's a little that shouldn't be talked about. But like the entire time, oh, okay. I thought she was gonna say something, but anyway, so like we're sitting there and we get to the part where Obi-Wan, and by the way, I think episode 2's music is by far the best. I listen to that at least once a day.
Yeah, I haven't listened to too much of the soundtrack yet, so it hurts. It hurts a lot.
Oh, it hurts a shit ton.
Mm-hmm.
And then when Reva tells Obi-Wan, or is talking about Obi-Wan, that Anakin is still alive, like the mention of him about Padme.
That's where you started to get broken.
That's when I started to lose it. And then when they did the pan into Anakin opening his eyes, that also got me.
He started crying and screaming. I swear to God, I thought we were going to get a noise complaint.
No, I was in
crying, screaming, throwing
up.
I was only missing throwing up, but that was the beginning of the end for me.
Yeah, to prepare for Obi-Wan, I watched a YouTube, like, I know you weren't supposed to record at Celebration during the premiere, but somebody did.
Oh yeah,
a audience recording reaction. And like the moaning, the screaming of the opening shot of Order 66 and those little kids, that set the tone for the whole show.
No,
and
it's
So, but Disney fucked me so hard. So for our first Patreon event was going to be the Obi-Wan Kenobi watch along. So we had, we decided we were all going to stay up super late. It's 11:50 Pacific time, right? But then they dropped it earlier.
Yeah, they dropped it at 9.
Yeah.
Atlantis was on a plane and she was freaking out.
We knew this because Luke, when you went to go meet up to get your badge, we met with Andrew Dimavante, and Dimavante goes, "Hey, I have inside sources. They're dropping it at 9."
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. We were like, "What?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks, Disney. Thanks.
Yeah, we had a whole agenda planned out. We were gonna go do this trivia tournament and then do all these things and then have like a little like together watch party of.
And then Luke had to go get a badge, and everything got thrown out the window.
Hey, everything
just.
Chaos.
I will say this though, that watching that first episode with a whole crowd is nothing that I have ever experienced in my entire fucking life.
I can't imagine. I'm so jealous.
So surreal.
I only got to attend Celebration on the last day, but I was there for the Bad Batch trailer.
Oh yeah.
And the feeling of being in that room, and like when Crosshair says Commander Cody.
Oh, it was that trick
erupting. It was nothing like it. Nothing.
Atlantis was literally punching me
when Gunji came out.
So she's like, "Did you see it?" I'm like, "Yes, I am looking at it right now. Like I'm watching it
when
with you."
Gunji activated the lightsaber, the entire crowd went nuts.
It was fucking insane. It was so nuts.
Love it. Yeah, I'm sad. I'm gonna miss Celebration this year because I really wanted to go, but not gonna pan out. But hopefully they'll do it back in the States following year.
I'm pretty sure they're probably gonna end up doing it in Florida.
Guaranteed.
I think so too. Orlando or Chicago would be the next.
Chicago in 25 would be.
I think Orlando's gonna be next year.
Would be really nice actually, considering Char lives in Chicago, and hopefully we'll be living in an apartment so that I can crash at his place.
There you go.
No pressure, Char. But I think I had a whole question panned out, but now I'm just gonna throw that to the wind. Chris, so for our guests, we ask explain the episode in 2 sentences or less. It can be funny, it can be serious. Give me 2 sentences explaining the episode.
Mom and dad issues combined with some double cross realness, and that's it. again, I've been like saturated in like sad Star Wars between like season 7 Clone Wars and Andor and Obi-Wan, like going to a Rebels episode. I legit started crying a little bit because it's like, oh, this is so happy and just freaking fun. I love this. So that's my summary of the episode.
Yeah, like it's a hard. Honestly, when I went back and watched this episode, I was like, damn, family problems again. No,
Star Wars and
What?
child and parent issues? No way. Yeah.
No, yeah, it's a very important episode, not only for Cham, but it's a huge episode for Hera. But
yeah.
Let's get into, while we're talking about the story, let's talk about the story. Oh my god.
Never fails to amaze, Luke. That's all I have to say.
With the sad music.
This is why we can't have nice things.
Yes.
Anyway. So obviously this we're talking about episode 16 of season 2, Homecoming. We start off with Hera and the ghost crew kind of trying to figure out how they can land. They're having trouble landing their fighters and stuff like that. And they figure out that there is a hangar ship thingy. I don't really know exactly how to explain it.
The carrier?
There you go. It's a carrier. And it's over Ryloth, which is ironically where Hera's from. And then we get to see our friend Cham Syndulla after what in the timeline. When was the last time we saw him? Technically,
Lords of the Sith
does take, which is funny because a lot of people were at that time when this was coming out. That was the thing that people were upset, was that he's nothing like he was in Lords of the Sith. Like, how do you mess that up? Because the book actually came out before the season of Rebels.
I didn't know it was that old.
Yeah, it was one of like the first couple books that was.
It was A New Dawn, Tarkin, Heir to the Jedi, and Lords of the Sith.
Yeah, Lords of the Sith was like one of the first rolled out publishing books for Disney when they first bought it. So that had come out. But like it's so night and day with him, and people were so upset. But now it's kind of interesting to look at it now. It's actually pretty similar to how he is in Lords of the Sith, because if you look at what he does in Lords of the Sith and the way he acts towards the end of this episode, it's like very, very, very similar. Obviously the Rebels crew meets up with Cham, Kanan, which was going to be my first question. We see Kanan at the beginning of the episode get really nervous when meeting Cham. Who in the Star Wars universe would make you nervous like that?
I mean, I don't know anybody that wouldn't make me nervous, actually. I mean, of course, any of the Sith would make me nervous because it's like, are you going to ask me for a favor, murder me, or a combination of both?
Yeah.
I think Leia would be the one I would be most nervous about, though.
Ooh, that's a fair one. Like, honestly, because she does have that gravitas. She has that presence. Like, she commands a room. Like, there's a lot of people. You just, like, I've known people that have that aura. Like, they just, they take charge. You're just kind of like stepping back and you look from afar, you know? And Leia definitely fits that for sure. Hereth, who would you be nervous?
I'm going to go Saw Gerrera, even though that's the stereotypical answer. You know,
you don't mind him welcoming and charming and warm.
I mean, all his actions are justified, but you never know what he's gonna pull out. Imagine being like in a situation like Hera, where you're like Jin, you're just like, I don't know what the fuck he's gonna do next.
No, yeah.
And if he thinks you're lying to him, he's gonna bust out some crazy tentacle monster to like warp your mind. It's fun times.
Yeah,
good times.
Oh yeah, Saw, not problematic at all. Char, who would make you nervous?
Who would make me nervous?
Oh,
I got 6 letters for you.
Oh, dude.
Tarkin.
Oh, Tarkin. Absolutely. That's another one though, but his is more like he commands a room, but he also knows all of your dirty secrets.
Yeah.
Like he does. Like if you haven't read from a certain point of view, that man gets down. He knows exactly
Hey,
what's going on.
Luke, always remember, the mouse droid knows everything.
Yeah, the mouse droid does know everything. Like,
Hey, they're just there to
Tarkin-
clean.
Tarkin, and I will
Well, they
always
do
say
see a
this
lot.
when I will say this whenever we talk about Tarkin. Tarkin is honestly one of my favorite villains that isn't Darth Vader, because he's very, like, for as little screen time as he had in A New Hope, he commands that. Especially, and that's a lot saying you have that with Vader in the same fucking room, that you are able to command that presence. You know what I mean? Like, that's wild to do that.
Yeah. And he's also that annoying friend who'd be like, "Hey, can I borrow your phone? Mine's not working very well." And you're like, "Sure." And like he looks up your browser history instead of like looking up the thing that he was saying he was going to use the phone for. Yeah.
Yeah.
You go through all your photos and look at all your screenshots, and you're like, huh.
Oh, you're into that, you sick fuck.
And he'll blackmail you.
Yeah, what the fuck? Hey, have you ever heard? I'm gonna have to start using incognito when I'm around that man. Like, all the stormtroopers are like, "All right, we gotta clear our data pads. We gotta clear them. Gotta get rid of them." But no, I honestly, there's, like, I'm kind of with you, Chris. There's a lot of characters that I would be like very nervous about. But honestly, it would be Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan, it's like he's not it. Like, you don't know how to approach him.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, he would be so endearing and be like, try to like be nice and stuff like that. But it's like, how do I approach somebody that is so like well known? You know what I mean? It's just and also Andor, Mommy Mothma. I would be definitely afraid. I'd be like, all right, step on me. Go ahead. Come on. Do it.
Yeah, yeah. My Mothma is next level. I mean, pretty much anybody in the Andor cast, I would be intimidated with.
How would we not mention Luthen?
Oh, Luthen!
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit!
Without the wig.
No, both. The way he's able to flip on a dime? Hell no.
You just see him just pull up, just like, "Hey, Mon, how are you,
dude?" Luthen. Oh, Luthen. I see. It makes me wonder how he's gonna last throughout the rest of season 2. You know what I mean?
I don't think he will.
No.
I don't. Yeah. See, I think he gets outed.
I think he will.
Hey,
if 3 seasons are guaranteed, they're going to keep him till the end.
It's 2 seasons. Bozo.
2 seasons. He's going to die.
He's going to make it out somehow.
K2's the one that kills him, then Cassian reprograms him.
Oh,
oh God!
Congratulations!
Wow! Damn.
Sorry.
He has a coolest ship, though, doesn't he?
Oh my God! Yeah.
Lightsaber ship, baby.
Yeah, lightsaber ship. Holy shit! Oh man. But sorry, I got us. See, I told you it'd get it derailed, and it wasn't even our guest who derailed it. It's me who derailed it. Yeah, Kenny. Thanks for showing up. Also, if you're in the chat, if you wouldn't mind hitting a like on the stream, that would help us immensely. But let's actually talk about this episode. So my first real question of the episode.
Wow, all your questions aren't real, Luke. Damn.
No, they're not. They're all made up.
Some are imaginary.
Yeah, some just come to my mind right away. You know, hey, you just gotta wing it. In this episode, we see Hera and Cham interact for the first time in years. How do you think Cham's experiences have shaped Hera? Man, I weirded that weird. Hold on. Let's restart that. How do you think Cham's experiences of being a leader made Hera into the leader that we see throughout the rest of the series?
Well, there's that whole burden of responsibility thing, right?
Yes.
And that's my favorite moment of the episode is at the very end where she tells him, "I learned how to be a leader through you," but like he's so PTSD'd out by this point that he's so like focused on this like small thing from Hera's perspective, and Hera's like shaking him like, "You did it before. You cared about the whole world and not just your village before. Why can't you do it again?" And I love that so much about this episode. And he's obviously more of a fanatic now and just obsessed with hurting people back the way he got hurt.
No, yeah, because like you said, Chris, he's been doing this for as long as we have known him as a character. Like, the first ever mention of Cham is him fighting with Mace, capturing Mace Windu. And it's like, bro, what the hell are we doing here? So it's like to see his extremity and like Hera never gets to the point of the extreme part of how Cham leads, but she knows how to get the best out of the people because that's what Cham does. Cham knows how to use his words and use those words and also his actions to really get the rebellion going. Because if you think about it, if Cham joins up with the rebellion, like as a whole, and not just Ryloth, that's a dangerous duo right there.
Yeah, because the rebellion needs more fanatics, right?
Well, I mean, hey, they think about that. Think about the lineup: Cham Syndulla and Saw Gerrera
and Luthen.
And Luthen. God.
That would be the power trio.
They would have the Empire wouldn't have lasted. There wouldn't have been a trilogy. It would have been gone. Somehow they would have killed Palpatine. I don't know.
They would have killed Tarkin, Palpatine, Thrawn, and Vader. They're all done.
Like, and this is such a great episode because it, like, again, with Rebels more than Clone Wars, right? We see more like honed in character development. You know what I mean? Like with Kanan being like off guard, messing things up because he's nervous about his girlfriend's dad. Like the whole stereotypical, like, oh, you're meeting the dad, and the dad's kind of like a big deal. And
I love how they acknowledge that through Ezra too.
Yeah.
Straighten up. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. You're never like this. Like, it's just so wholesome to see all these characters, like, more or less grow throughout. I think the most character development happens in season 2 because there's a lot that happens. Season 2 and season 3 have the same episode length, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's pretty consistent across the entire season.
Yes.
Or series.
No,
sorry, why is it season?
16 because it's 16 towards the end.
Oh yeah,
it's
yeah,
shorter,
right.
It's short. The last season is shorter, and the first season is shorter. The 2 in the middle are the longer ones.
Yeah, I think it's important to note though that Hera hasn't been at war as long as her dad. I mean, her dad's been at war for a long time now. I'd be curious to see her in the Ahsoka show after all the shit that went down and see what she's like then. I would love it if she has like more of a fanatical energy.
I need to get back to Alphabet Squadron because after her experiences with the stuff that happens, from what I know, could be very interesting. Because after the Battle Jakku with all the Departers,
what happens in the video game? Not Inferno's, not Squadrons. She's in that as well.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
It's like she like, and also you have to, and Chris brings up a great point. Like she has to think about, hey, like she doesn't like she sees the good and the bad of like her father, and she sees the bad. It's like maybe she's just like, I've seen these kind of tendencies before. I know kind of where I need to like put the line. That's a line I don't cross. And I feel like maybe that's also kind of where you might see it in that Ahsoka show.
Also, the fact that Jason's going to be around.
Yeah.
What if her parenting tactics going to be like different compared to Cham?
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's insanely wild. But the second question, the final question I have, Cham ends up betraying Hera and the Ghost Crew. Why do you think it was important to show Cham in this light, especially with how he is in like the other media that we have seen him in?
I think, well, one thing I love about Rebels that Andor takes and runs with and like hones in on is the fact that, you know, I heard the term Rebel Alliance, and I didn't know what that meant. Alliance of what? It's just a bunch of people fighting the Empire, right? As a kid, I didn't really realize that there are different groups fighting the Empire, but they have their own agendas, and they don't necessarily all get along. And Rebels, from what I remember, is the first time I really saw that. Andor took that and blew that up. So I love the fact that, Cham Syndulla is a rebel, but he cares about Fallujah. Or not Fallujah, Ryloth, yeah. And so I love that perspective, and I love that he cares about this one thing and one thing only, and he's even willing to screw his own daughter to get what he wants, and that's a big deal.
Yeah, it's insanely it's huge. Hereth?
No, Chris absolutely hit the nail on the head. He was willing to blow up an entire ship just for the meaning of like, I'm going to destroy the empires at any cost, anything necessary. I will do it just for you. Like that is, so good.
Yeah, it like I said, he does it in Lords of the Sith. He plans on killing. He sets up a ambush for two of the baddest motherfuckers in the entire galaxy, Darth Vader and Emperor Palpatine. And he almost does it. He's the only one that has gotten close to killing the Emperor, besides that one comic run in the Marvel Star Wars. There was a spy for the rebellion that got really close to Palpatine, and there was another assassination attempt, but he got caught.
I would argue in Son of Dathomir and Mother Talzin as well got pretty damn close.
Well, I mean, like in the Empire.
In the Empire era, dub. I'm just saying people that got close to killing Palpatine.
Oh yeah.
How many people have tried killing? That list is a long list, right? And
yeah.
Palpatine getting older, it's like you can just push him down the stairs in the Death Star or something. So it's like that guy, I'm sure, is getting used to assassination attempts all the time.
Well, I mean, hey, he was.
Also Vader, you know.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, with
Mexico.
yeah. I mean, that's why he was trying to find the dyads that he could live forever, you know, because then he can just essence put it, and that's the like. I hope with this new thing that we're doing every other Friday, we're doing a podcast with Chris, and we're talking about kind of not. How do I want to word this? We're talking about not the
discourse in the community.
Yeah, discourse in the communities with certain subjects, right? So like this week we're going to be talking about like the discourse between The Last Jedi and like Canto Bight specifically. Like, what is it really important? Is it necessary? That's what we're talking about this week. Next week or the following week, in 2 weeks, we're going to be talking about Anakin Skywalker and how him and how one point will be people looking at him and Vader as two separate beings, which absolutely drives me fucking nuts. And then like the characterization with jumping off of that with people saying, "Oh, it's not Anakin's fault. It's not Anakin's fault for turning to the dark side." It's like,
yeah. Also, I want to add, I think we mentioned it during the discussion when we were talking about the episode, like different depictions of Anakin in different media, like how Anakin is different in like Queen's Hope versus Brotherhood, or Anakin's different in the Revenge of the Sith novelization versus Clone Wars, and like all the different ways different writers characterize Anakin.
Yeah, that's what you guys get to look forward to here in a couple of weeks. But
well, first of all, I'm shocked that you're suggesting people don't like Last Jedi. I've never heard that before. And but when Steph and I say if there's a particular subject that generates the most heat for us between my gross jokes and her funny shit, it's when we say something negative about Anakin Skywalker. Especially on TikTok, it like the heat comes down upon us, and it's just like overwhelming. And it's like, really,
Chris, it's being an Anakin Skywalker fan, and then having Anakin stans, and I put this in quotations, Anakin stans, and then getting lumped in with them is the most frustrating thing I've ever had to deal with, because it's like they'll make every excuse for him. And it's like, did you not watch any of the movies? Did you not watch any of the shows? Did you just put the blinders on and just say, "Oh, he did nothing wrong"? Like, come on. Like in episode 2, he slaughters a whole bunch of Tuskens out of revenge. Like,
that murder is bad. Call me crazy.
Like him turning into a fascist. That's not a good thing.
It's like, if you love a character, you got to recognize their flaws. Like, I love villains. On the Marvel side, I love Thanos. I love other villains like him, but he's a bad person. He does bad things, and it's always bizarre to me when people are like, "Well, he's justified. There's too many people. Let him wipe out half the population." It's like, really?
No,
it's
a morality thing.
It's the Game of Thrones thing. It's like, you can like a character and admit they're fucked up people.
Oh yeah. I love Daemon Targaryen, but man, he is one fucked up character. Like I don't. I am team Black, but like it's weird how people. Like you said, Chris, you can love a villain, but you have to realize that's the compelling thing about Anakin is that he is a cautionary tale, and that's how George wrote him. Is that he wasn't supposed to be he was supposed to be the best of them, and he failed.
Mm-hmm.
That's the most compelling part about his character. Chris,
I agree. He was a great Sith, though. Sith.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta be on for that episode. On in a couple of weeks. We'll talk about that more later.
Okay.
But I'm see another derailment. 2. For those keeping track at home or listening, that's 2 times.
I really need to keep a tally up and just and at the end of the show.
Yeah.
You gotta have a counter in the upper right corner or something.
Yeah, we do.
Total derailments in the history of Podwan, and it just goes up and up.
No, it would be so long. But they used to be so much worse when we were talking about Clone Wars, though.
When you were talking about season 1, season 2, it was.
Because it's like you have to fill the dead air. Because season 1 is,
There's a lot.
Season 1 of Clone Wars is like the hardest thing to get through, and I'm not even kidding. It is so hard. But
Char, well, yeah, tell me about it. It took us a whole 2 years to get through Clone Wars, and there were a couple episodes that were a slog for us, like the Baron Papado arc was really rough for us. We weren't a fan.
Yeah, because you guys were going through it episode by episode.
We
eventually condensed to arcs.
That's right. Yes.
Luke did the same thing too, and I was like, "Luke, what are you doing?"
No, I was just like Hereth goes one day. He goes, "Why are you going episode by episode? You're never gonna get done with this." And I was like, "You're right. You're right. And like now with Rebels, it's like we don't know which episode goes with which episode for an arc.
We had to literally grab my co-host from Dave Flano and be like, "Yo, sit down. What episodes can we combine and which ones can we not?"
Because that's the thing with Rebels. Like the first couple of episodes in season 1 go together, and then it's just single, and then the last 3 go together.
Yeah.
With Rebels in season 3 and 4, there's more of a cohesive. There's more arcs than there are just regular episodes, just one-off episodes. But
which makes Rebels go longer than Clone Wars.
It does.
I don't know. You said it earlier. The story in Rebels for me is a lot tighter because it's like focused on this like found family. Yes. So I'm hesitant to lump them together. I just want to I would want to take my time with it, and those little moments where for like in this episode, Zeb and Sabine giving each other shit, coming up with plans. Like I love those little moments. I could talk about those moments for a long time, and we probably will when we get there.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
Char.
Oh, sorry. Oh, let Char go.
What's up?
Ready for your section?
I am ready for this. Let's dive into the lore of Homecoming.
Don't be too proud of this technological terror you've constructed. The ability to destroy a planet is insignificant next to the power of the Force.
And we're here for the lore of Homecoming. All right, so today's lore is about father and daughter relationships.
Oh no.
Quoted Eminem. I'm kidding.
Here we go.
In this episode, it is heavily focused on the rekindling relationship between Hera and her father, Cham. In the saga, the father-daughter relationship plays a major role for our heroes. Examples are Bail Organa and Leia Organa, Lando Calrissian and his daughter Kadara, as revealed in Shadow of the Sith, Galen Erso and Jyn Erso, Emmanuel Doza and Tora Doza from Resistance, and many more.
Did you say Galen and Jyn Erso? Did you say that?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
I'm still going. If you could choose one father figure to raise you in the Star Wars universe, who would be your daddy?
Jeez.
The way you said that.
That's why I added the nice. You got to acknowledge it, okay?
Nice.
Nice.
I mean, can I say Qui-Gon Jinn?
Ooh,
you could.
I thought he was my favorite father figure. He gave me the best father figure energy in Star Wars. I love Bail, but as I've joked on my podcast many times, that dude leaves as soon as it gets tough. He bails. and pretty much everybody else, like they have issues. Like Galen has like so much baggage, and I don't want Palpatine to be my dad.
Yeah, fuck that.
That's fucked up. Yeah,
No,
I'm not
yeah.
gonna do that. So yeah, I love Qui-Gon's energy, and I would want him to be my dad.
Here's a
Din. Depends on
Daddy
what
is a
context
state
you're
of
using it in. Okay.
Daddy is a state of mind.
I'm assuming it's a parental figure, not like a Friday night thing. You know.
Hey, we're not running over here,
time, Daddy.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, I'm not saying it's no holds bar, but
Chris, have you gotten to the episode where we talk about the clones?
I don't think so. What was
the joke?
No. That you'll have to message me when you listen to that episode.
That is probably our best episode. Honestly.
Oh my gosh, I have to go back and watch it. I love me that episode a lot.
Yeah, well, so Farrell Remy, and Danielle, writing in the Star Wars, were on that episode, and you know how much they are crazy for clones.
As am I.
It gets wild. We'll just say that.
It just takes a heel turn and it just nosedives, and we just follow it all the way to the bottom.
It's like we get into the conversation and they're like, oh yeah, have you read this fanfic? What about this fanfic?
Yeah, we got into a whole debate about fan fiction.
And then clone fucking. It was a whole conversation.
That's a topic I'm very familiar with. Yeah.
There you go. See, hey.
Bad Batch is good. Bad Batch is really good.
Okay, Chris said his father figure would be Qui-Gon Jinn. Hereth, who would be your daddy?
Even though the joke from Chris is very funny, I got to go with Bail Organa. I'm sorry.
Bail Organa.
He's dropping your ass real fucking quick.
Hey, Bail Organa's a good dad, though. You saw Kenobi, was like, Nux with Leia.
Or if I can't go with Bail, I'll go with Panaka.
Oh, that's a good one.
Panaka, pre-Empire or post-Empire?
Pre-Empire for sure. I'm not going with that fascist version of him.
He is he's an Imperial officer in the Kamal sector.
I have a feeling I know what Char's is. Jango Fett.
No.
Oh, but that's a good one though.
No.
Yeah.
It's not him.
Okay, who is it? No, but Boba Fett was never a daddy. What are you talking about?
He would be the other kind of daddy.
Yeah, yes, that would be the Friday night daddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every night daddy.
Oh, yes.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, for that one, it would be like either Boba or Lando would be the other.
Lando. Lando would be. You know what? Lando would be a good.
I would want Lando.
Just
I would
for
want
like
Lando to raise me.
The way he cares so much about when he's looking for his daughter, like that kills me every time. But like that just shows the dedication of him.
Or what kills me the most in Shadow of the Sith is the interlude chapter with him and his daughter going in the cape closet.
Oh,
God damn it.
You see, the reason why I would want Lando as my dad is because he would teach me how to be a level 99 max prestige Riz Lord. Okay. I would get all the women and men.
There you go. Hey.
Snap.
There you go. Hey, we
also your gambling skills, Char, would be up even more than usual.
By the way, Char just knows how to fucking win money anyway. I just don't understand it.
Char Sabak, we're done. It's over.
No, because he would be dumb. He'd say, "Oh, I got a good hand," and then Lando would probably do the whole little card trick thing, and then we'd lose all of our money.
The green Psylop. The green Psylop.
Yeah.
Get an immediate idiot's array. The best hand you can get in Sabak. Didn't Pat bring a Sabak?
Yes, he did.
Celebration.
Yeah,
Why didn't we all play?
Yeah,
there was a lot going on with celebration.
I know, but it's never too late to gamble.
Well, playing strong recommendation. Next time you go to a Disney theme park with Ogas, bring a Sabak game with you. It's the best. It's just like the best mood ever. You have to be sitting in the booth, but like it's awesome.
Dude, yeah, I absolutely. Man, bring up the whole dad thing.
Yeah, Luke, let me ask you this: who is your daddy?
Who's my daddy? Man, that's a tough one because instantly I want to go to my what if Anakin Skywalker wouldn't have gone to the dark side. He would have been a great father.
Yeah, he would have.
He would have been a fantastic father. Like the way he cared so much about Padme. Like, and if he would have had a chance to be with the kids, like
I thought you'd go with the Ahsoka thing because that's more like yes, his brother and sister, but it's still like you can kind of see the parental things kind of sweeping.
No, yeah, absolutely. I mean, Anakin does a great when he's not being a fascist, you know, and being kind of a problematic person. He genuinely cares about those that are closest to him, even though that is his downfall. He's not a person. Okay, so to compare it, he is the partner that gives you so much and is like the loyal friend that they will do absolutely anything for you. No matter who you are, what you're doing, what your situation is, they'll always be there for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, if Anakin Skywalker legit cares about you, he's going to do anything for you. And if he had to take care of kids, he'd also have that extra feeling of like missing his mom. He wouldn't want his kids to miss their parent. And if Padme did pass away still, like he would be even more so that, right? So
yeah,
I know what you mean, Chris, by he will do anything.
Anything.
Yeah.
Whatever it
even
takes.
possibly still fall to the dark side, but at least it would be for a better cause than like power.
No, yeah. No, but honestly, I think my pick. Oh man, I haven't really thought about this. Damn it. Let's go to does the chat have anything?
I'm surprised you're not saying Obi-Wan.
I see that's what I was thinking, but then I was like, oh well, that's too on brand. That's too on brand.
It's a brand for a reason.
Yeah, there is a brand for a reason.
Luke, you have your brand. You should stick to it. You know, even it's stereotypical. Even though the audience is like, yeah, we know Luke's gonna go with Obi-Wan.
I am Obi-Wan. I plan on doing. Well, Chris, you might find this interesting. I'm doing blue Obi-Wan with the gray, not poncho. What is that called technically? It's like a cape thing that he wears. It's like a.
I had this discussion. Somebody told me, and I don't remember. I don't know. It's weird cloak cape thing. Yeah, I don't remember.
But
Kenny, in the chat, we're looking for specifically fathers.
Figures. Yeah, not mommies.
Well, by that logic, it's gonna be Quinlan.
Ventress could be your dad. I don't know.
I don't think Quinlan would be a good dad.
Quinlan would be the one that would teach. He'd be the bad uncle.
Yes. He'd be the bad fun uncle.
Yeah.
Just don't give him alcohol. Just don't give him alcohol.
Uncle.
But if he had his own kids, he would take a job where he had to travel a lot, so he would be home. You know.
Oh, gotta go to Coruscant for reasons.
Man, Kenobi's talking. What are you talking about? I didn't.
Oh no, Chase is here.
Chaos is here.
So yeah, Luke said Anakin. I said Lando. Or I didn't say Lando, but I agree with Lando as mine. Chris, you said Qui-Gon, and then Hereth, you said Bail Organa. As we move forward into the next segment, if you want to go ahead and drop your father figures in the chat, we would love to see what your opinions are on that. But anyways, let's dive into Hereth's segment with the interconnectedness.
In my experience, there's no such thing as luck.
What happens in between the segments will never be said for a reason.
No, but I'm pretty sure. Never mind.
Luke, what are you talking about?
What happened?
Nothing. Get into your interconnectedness so I can just forget what I just saw.
What are you talking? Look, that was all you.
Yeah, you're going insane, man. And the corn's really getting to you in Nebraska. Anyway, let's get to the segment. I don't know how I'm going to finish the sentence, but I'll find a way.
Man, did that
Hereth,
fall flat?
Hereth, go ahead.
Okay, so speaking of interconnectedness, we've seen a lot of skeleton that the story is built on, from Clone Wars arc with Ryloth to the Bad Batch's Ryloth two-parter, and then we even see Chance Syndulla in its Edgelord era trying to kill Palpatine. Do we need more Chance Syndulla stories? Why or why not?
Why not? I mean, I want more Star Wars, and
yes, love that one.
And the Twilight story, I think, is really important. Steph and I have talked about this in Dark Side Divas. It's a little unfortunate the way the Twi'leks were originally introduced, and
Yes.
the women are all French speaking, all that kind of stuff. So I feel like it's really important to give them a lot more identity, a lot more history. I want more. I want more Cham. I want more Twi'leks in general. And I feel that way about all the other species. I want more Wookiee stories. I want more Doro stories. On my podcast for Light and Dice, a person on that podcast randomly decided they should travel to a system called Yagdul, where the Given are, and there is zero lore about them. So I had to make a lot of stuff up. So I would personally love more Given stories just for that reason. So like I don't see the problem with there being more Cham stories. I mean I love Hera to death. So part of her story is her father. So
yeah,
it just
exactly.
makes sense.
And
yeah.
Again,
and
I don't
Luke,
want to see.
Of course, Luke would agree with the Wookiee stories. Luke, we're getting more in Bad Batch.
Yes.
So I mean,
Also,
you're a sucker for
loved
Wookiees.
that
You're a
last
sucker
one.
for Wookiees.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
I love that episode.
I mean,
my God, it's
we
great.
can fill in the gaps. So we also need to know what happened after the Bad Batch left with Hera and what the remaining Ryloth rebellion was like. Because we know, obviously, Hera's mom dies, but we don't know how.
I'm thinking we're seeing that in season 2.
I think we are too.
I was just thinking that.
What's my boy Hauser up to?
What have you been doing?
The hottest of the
Hauser?
clones. The hottest of the clones, arguably. I swear, that man, when Twitter went on fire when that man showed up.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, whoa! Hauser! Give me a piece of that.
Hauser's getting it done.
No.
Brothers, what are we doing?
Yeah, what are we doing?
You mean the best GIF of all time?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Brothers, what are we doing?
What are we doing?
I think like Chris was saying, I think the fact that Twi'leks throughout the Star Wars universe have been kind of like been problematic, and us giving them more nuance and making them like actual characters, not just like
What we see
but
in
they're
Jabba's
sexualized.
palace.
Yeah, they're being sexualized. They're being like these characters actually are like they have good stories. You know what I mean? Like even in Resistance Reborn,
I need to read that so badly.
They go to Ryloth after The Last Jedi.
Oh.
And they give a lot of backstory to like Ryloth as a planet, because obviously when you watch the Clone Wars and you watch Rebels and you get all this other context, not Rise of the Resistance, but Resistance Reborn is a really good book if you're looking into like Ryloth Twi'lek stuff.
The reason why I haven't read it yet is I've been told by so many people it's like the end game of Star Wars. It connects so many of the books and content together. You probably need to like. I think it's Aftermath, Inferno Squadron. There's a couple others that I'm missing. It's like they make so many connections between all the post-sequel content.
Yeah,
or not post-sequel content, both OT content. It's like it connects everything together.
Yeah, it's great. But I'd like to see Cham before the Clone Wars.
Ooh.
Give me a story about him before he went into being a fanatic.
Aww.
Because remember, in that Ryloth arc, Omfrey Char is very much against Syndulla because they ran against each other for that Senate seat. And Cham lost. So think about that. Like a little espionage, political, like it could be a book. I think that'd be a perfect
or comic miniseries.
Or comic. But I think the two eras that we really haven't seen a ton from, post sequels, and pre kind of like we're getting it with the High Republic, but I want
pre Phantom Menace.
I want honestly I want in between Phantom Menace and
I was just talking about that. It's the least explored era in the prequel era, which I'm kind of sick of Clone Wars content. Gap. Yeah, we only have one book and a comic miniseries.
Yeah.
What? We have a 10-year gap and we're not really going to explore that?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get it with Acolyte. Maybe season 2, 3. Maybe they'll go there. I don't know.
Claudia Gray, Anakin, Obi-Wan book. When it's just a sequel to Master and Apprentice.
No.
But we do get a little bit of a visual medium with
the
Lost, the Sith Lord and Tales of the Jedi, with it being like right after.
We get a little bit, but I mean, like,
But like that's like the precursor to Attack of the Clones and what transpires there.
Well, I mean, we haven't really seen the rise of the Separatists in book content.
No, we've only seen it in obviously Attack of the Clones, but we
got hints of it in Master and Apprentice at the end, but it's like we never seen it like how it happened.
Yeah, I think we need more story. And to bring it back to the actual question, yes, I think we need more stories involving Twi'leks. I mean, we're seeing it. We saw them in The Mandalorian. We saw some Twi'leks there.
Mm-hmm.
But Hera was our first real. No, that's not true because Cham was introduced as well. But I mean, as a front character of a Twi'lek, she was the first real Twi'lek to be on screen in the main cast. So seeing her do all these amazing things, I think is done.
Tying it back to Cham Syndulla, I just thought about this. We get the line later on in season 4 from Thrawn when he's like, "You had a brother," and he's talking about the Oh, I'm forgetting the name of it for a good second. Her family heritage, why am I forgetting it? I feel so bad.
Kalikori.
Kalikori. Because Thrawn says it in a really funny way, like the Kalikori. You got the Kalikori. You had a brother. Just we need to see how that happened because I assume he got killed during the Clone Wars because he's not in Bad Batch,
or maybe before.
Yeah, we don't know.
Maybe the election went wrong and
oh no,
Cam's son got in the middle and found out things and died. That could always be it. I'm not trying to delegate myself to write Star Wars because I wouldn't know how to do it, but I can be an ideas guy. Maybe not all my ideas are going to be good.
Char!
That is Char J. You're absolutely right.
How are you?
The one and only.
I would be down for a Sopranos style Bib Fortuna show. Right after Return of the Jedi, how he takes over Jabba's operation and it's messy as shit, and then he finally wins at the end, and the show ends with Boba coming in and shooting.
I've been saying, give me crime drama in Star Wars.
Yeah,
I need it injected into my veins.
I mean, originally that's what George was going to do with 1313. Think about that on steroids.
I think it was just going to be crime.
Just committing crime, not so much. Yeah, justice.
Give me Sopranos, Ozark, or Breaking Bad in space. Come on.
Oh my! Boba Fett's not doing any Shakespearean stuff out there,
But Char,
is that what you think crime is?
No, you said crime drama.
Yeah. There's crime dramas that. Come on.
Anyway, let's Char.
Boba Fett and drama do not go together. I'm just telling you that right now.
That's because he doesn't have a lot of screen time to be in a drama.
Well, he doesn't have time for shit, He doesn't have time for drama.
And he'll jump on that Rancor and start blowing shit up before he gets so dramatic. Yeah.
Yeah. But now it's time for Char's other segment.
Oh, I like that segment. Let's go. 3 interesting facts about a certain Rebels arc that you didn't know about until now. Part 20. Homecoming Edition. Fact 1. Created in Legends, now in canon. The Imperial Light Carrier ship design is based on artwork by Doug Chang and Troy Vigil, created for the first edition of the Essential Guide to Vehicles and Vessels that was established or created in 1996, where it described the Rebel ship Flurry from the Kathy Tyers book, The Truce at Bakura, that was published in 1994. The triangular shape of the vehicle put it more in line with the Imperial aesthetic, hence its use here. Fact 2, an homage to the Battle of Ryloth. Cham's shoulder armor, Gobi's gauntlets, vambraces and holster, and Numa's armor and belt are all salvaged pieces of a Ghost Company clone trooper kit.
That's right. I said that. Wow. I said that out loud when I was watching it with the Lannis. That's I said. Sorry.
Fact 3, she always remembered. On Numa's upper left arm, the word Boyle is written in Arbesh, as well as a particular crest in reference to one of the clone troopers that rescued her in Star Wars The Clone Wars. She also has a faded Tuca illustration on her tunic. And there you have it. Those are the 3 interesting facts about Homecoming.
Wow, that was the most damaging 3 interesting facts you've ever heard.
We love Boyle. Rest in peace, Boyle.
Yeah,
Rest in peace.
Okay, Chris, what was the hardest Clone Wars episode to get through with you and Steph?
Oh, it was the very end.
Was it?
We edited it out, but we legit cried at the end because it just felt like
You had
I
done.
think it's at one point we said it felt like we were graduating from a high school we actually liked, and
Yeah.
and we were gonna go do something else. It's like our whole identity at that point was Clone Wars, and then we
Yeah,
were
it
gonna
was.
leave. And so that was really tough. I think before that, Umbara was really tough. I don't like to be super critical of things, and Umbara is just not my jam, and it was Steph's jam, so we kind of came to clash on that one. So that was hard too. But at the very end was just the toughest. We legit cried, and you could probably, if you're on our Patreon, you can see the unedited version of the show, and you can see us weeping like bitches. But it was tough. It was tough to get through it, but we did. Obi-Wan Kenobi did not prepare me for Obi-Wan Kenobi, so
yeah,
that one's just been generally tough.
I can't wait till you guys get to Resistance.
No, that's been killing me because I saw the first 2 episodes. I was getting ready to breeze right through it, and Steph was like, "Let's do this podcast," and I said, "Okay, I'm gonna wait to watch Resistance because I want to be fresh completely on that." So I have not seen the rest of Resistance.
Resistance is so underrated.
I've heard.
I am.
It might be the most underrated show in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Or underrated anything in Star Wars.
I can't wait to watch it again so that I can actually I enjoyed it. It's not my favorite.
But there's a certain point I say in Resistance when it just takes a turn, and again, you watch the show, you know what I'm talking about. And it just kicks off. It just goes straight to overdrive.
Because there's 22 episodes per season. There's only 2 seasons. Once you get past episode 10 of season 1,
boom,
it goes way up. It gets
wait.
so good because it's like establishing these main characters for the first few episodes, and then you start to see conflicts develop within them, and the First Order gets involved, and a bunch of things happen.
I
it's crazy.
honestly recommend, this is how we're probably gonna do on Pod Ones. Do it in 3 different runs. Do it 3 to 4 episodes. Just go boom, 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 and just like that. Don't do one-offs because it doesn't really work, and you feel like you can combine a lot of the storylines together because you'll never get it through it.
Yeah, it's tough. I will say that. But we will be doing starting August of this. Is it August of this year? We'll be done with Rebels.
I thought it was September.
September. It's right before. It's right when Ahsoka drops.
That's right. Yeah. So we'll be doing Resistance.
Which I love how we always talk about your timing. What the hell?
My timing is fucking amazing. We were talking about season 7 of the Clone Wars. Or what event were we talking about when Kenobi was coming out?
It was the. Why am I forgetting the name of the arc? It was the Zygerian Slaver arc.
Zygerian, yeah.
Right,
so
Zygeria.
we were talking about the Zygerian Slave arc when the first couple of episodes of Obi-Wan were coming out, around that time, and then Andor started dropping, and we were in season 1 of Rebels, almost towards the end of season 1 of Rebels. So when he does the whole call out, the heist. And then that event happens, chronologically, they happen really close together.
Yeah, I talked about how I think Ezra's call and Luthen's ending part on Ferrix is what pushes the rebellion to go after Kanan.
Yeah, my timing. I don't it's funny because you guys we're kind of doing the similar kind of similar style of podcasting. But ours is so backwards. We started with Clone Wars, and we're doing it from release. So once we're done with Resistance, we'll hit the live action.
Oh, I see.
We won't go back to Bad Batch. We'll go Mandalorian season 1. We'll go Mando, then Bad Batch, right?
Mando came out in 2019, and then and then season 2 came out later, 2020.
So here's the real question: do we do Mando season 1? Do we do all of Mando?
No, I think no. I think go Mando season
release order.
Release order. Go Mando season 1, Bad Batch season 1, Mando season 1, Mando season 2, Bad Batch, Book of Boba Fett, Kenobi, and/or Back to Bad Batch.
Wow, we're trying to do it in chronological, so the question becomes like, how are the other shows going to tie into how does the whole Mandoverse unfold? Like, are we going to have to skip like Mandalorian to go into the season 1 Ahsoka, and what about Skeleton? Like, I don't. There's so many unknowns right now. It's so.
Oh no,
weird.
yeah, we have
It's so
Acolyte
cool.
and Skeleton Crew this year.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
Or-
Acolyte's not gonna be
24. Acolyte 24. Spring 24.
We had this
Skeleton
problem.
Crew.
We had this problem with the Marvel podcast because we're doing it chronological. So we did Captain Marvel before we did a lot of the other Marvel movies, and it's just like when we get to the multiverse era, I don't even know what the order's going to be.
Kenny,
Yeah.
so that's my problem. I can't get past episode 3. Hunker down, show Aunt Z some respect. Okay, that's all I gotta say.
Also, I don't like doing this, but what?
Yes. My response is yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Bad Batch season 9, yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bad Batch season 9.
But let's get into ranking the episode. Chris, there's the rankings. What's your ranking for this episode?
Man, that's tough. I mean, Twilight of the Apprentice is always going to be like my top favorite Rebels. So, are we doing what 1 out of 10 scale? I forget.
So,
1 out of 5.
Bad.
1 out
So
of
it's
5.
so at the bottom. Bad.
Oh, I
is
see.
ensign,
Bad is
okay,
ensign,
lieutenant.
okay, lieutenant, good captain, great admiral, and chef's kisses is like the best of the best is grand admiral.
I'll give it Admiral. I mean, it's a great episode, tight script, moves very quickly, but it makes its point when it needs to, and it still leaves enough time for those little moments between characters. But not my absolute best favorite Rebels. But I love Rebels is my favorite Star Wars story overall, so it's really hard for me to rank any of them. I literally love every single episode of the show.
Yeah, and Luke, we've had how many Grand Admirals so far? We've only had like 3.
I haven't been keeping track. Like
I thought it
did
was
with
like
Star Wars,
1.
But like I no.
I thought we've had 3.
No, Grand Admiral. No, okay. So the arc, the season finale of season 1 was a Grand Admiral.
Oof, yeah.
That the second, the first arc of season 2 was also another Grand Admiral. So we had 2 Grand Admirals back to back. But I don't think we've had any since.
I think any episode with helicopter lightsabers is automatically going to be a.
It's a W.
Admiral.
It's an automatic W. Kenobi would have got a Grand Admiral, but it didn't have helicopter lightsabers, so we can't. When we get to Kenobi, we can't do it
by default.
It's gonna be interesting because we're gonna change every single like ranking to to make sense with what we're talking about.
Right.
So it's like what are we gonna do for Resistance when it's just racing? Oh, first, second, or third place?
No, it's gonna be all the X-wings. It's gonna be like we're gonna have Chase give us the best X-wings, worst to best, and that's gonna be it.
Probably. But Chris gives it an Admiral. Hereth?
I'm gonna be an Admiral as well. I feel like it hits it so hard, and then the way that Cham Syndulla's arc gets changed by Hera being like, "I learned from you. Stop caring about just Ryloth." One of the best moments in Rebels, honestly. Yeah.
Char.
I give it an Admiral as well. I think one of my favorite parts of this episode was when you see Kanan and Cham bonding, and then while Hera is just like, I don't like this.
Oh, the best part is when she's like, Kanan comes in, she's like, "Your dad's not so bad," and she's like, "Yeah, you haven't grown up with him."
No, he's like, because when Kanan's talking about, or Cham's talking about Mace Windu, he's like, "Oh, I remember Mace Windu. He would take out all those battle droids 1 to 100." And then Kanan was like, "I love hearing your stories," and then Cham's like, "I love telling them."
Also, I just realized that's probably a reference to the 2003 Clone Wars as a joke.
Yeah.
It could be
on Dantooine,
but I feel like it's more towards that episode that he's in.
It's more towards that episode, but I also could see it being like a Filoni, like Mace Windu, is over the top powered,
like how they do, like how Mike Chen references the 2003 Clone Wars.
Yeah,
right? Or it's like the Revenge of the Sith novelization, how they describe Anakin and Obi-Wan, like how people idolize the Jedi.
Yeah. Which is interesting. We could do a whole... Ooh, that's another concept that we could do for that. Oh, never mind.
The Revenge of the Sith novel.
Oh god damn, that thing should be canon.
Yeah, but for me overall, this episode's an Admiral.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go an Admiral too. It's a really solid episode.
So it is a unanimous
Admiral.
Admiral, but Kenny says Captain, great character development for Hera, but not much overall.
Wow, that's super harsh.
That is very super harsh.
I've said a lot in the show. There's not much rankings would go below Captain. It doesn't really happen often.
No. The episode after Shrouds of Darkness, Chopper Base. That one might be.
Don't you dare disrespect Chopper Base like that.
Chopper is not he's my least favorite character.
You know what episode I'm excited to go through with you, Luke? Because Chopper's not your favorite. The one where they take care.
R2 is the best. R2 walked so that fucking Chopper could run. So without R2D2, there is no Chopper.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no,
Also-
absolutely. But Chopper is like Chopper is like extraordinary chaos like personified, and I love it.
Luke,
And
you know what?
he's also
He's
a villain.
T1 unit, not an R2 unit.
Yeah.
Since you mentioned that, Luke, I'm excited to go to the episode in season 3 when the entire Empire takes over Chopper for the entire episode, and it's just a Chopper episode.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be like, hey, look, it's Chopper doing evil things again.
Huh,
I love that.
All this
I'm
episode
looking
did
forward
for
to when
Rebels
the Ahsoka show comes out, that they're going to have a Chopper droid wandering around Batu. I really want Chopper to hit kids or something.
Yes. Or you just hear him go up to a random adult, go bow, 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 and just ran off.
Yeah.
All this
Yeah.
episode did for the Rebels was get them a new ship. That's it. I don't know about that one.
Wow, Kenny.
Well,
Wow,
the
Kenny.
shit that they went through to get the new ship. That was what happened.
It's the friends we made along the way.
Yeah, and also again, it's like that reinforcing the idea that there are different Rebel cells, but they don't get along, and that's a thing that happens throughout Rebels.
No, yeah.
Look, I think we need to react to a Chopper compilation of just him doing sassy stuff all the time.
I still think a segment on the show should be how many people have Chopper killed this episode. Sadly, there was no Chopper killing this episode. Anyway, 3 interesting facts.
No, but he did cuss. He was like, "What the fuck?" at that one part.
Yes, Chopper. I know. Champs and Duel betrayed us.
No. But that's gonna be it for this episode. Chris, thank you again so much for coming on. It was so awesome to have you on.
Oh, that was so much fun, guys. Thank you for inviting me.
No, yeah, absolutely. Hopefully we can get you on for something rather soon, sooner rather than later. But Chris, where can the fantastic people find you and your content?
Yeah, so I have 3 podcasts. There's Dark Side Divas, which is the Star Wars chronological podcast where we go through the whole story in order of, again, chronological order. Marvelous Divas, which is the same thing for Marvel, but for the MCU. And then my newest podcast, For Light and Dice, it's a High Republic tabletop role-playing game. A bunch of queer folks from the content community, some from the D&D community, some from other Star Wars podcasts, come together, and it's pure chaos and fun. I'm actually enjoying doing that one a lot. That's called For Light and Dice. And then you can find us on Twitter, TikTok, under all those different names. For Light and Dice is only on Twitter for right now because I don't have time to do other social media anymore. I'm social media'd out.
No, yeah, I feel that. I kind of feel that with all the things that we've done the last couple of months. Yeah, that's kind of how I felt.
Dude, it was insane when it was Andor, Rings of Power, House of Dragon. Oh my!
I was like, this is why I can't be a nerd anymore.
Yeah, it's a great.
Just wait till Mando comes out with overlap.
Never a better time to be a nerd unless you're a content creator on top of that. And it's like, holy crap.
Everyone's like, yay, all these amazing shows, and all our content creators are like, how are we going to cover everything?
Yeah.
Because we would, so the schedule would be, okay, House of Dragon Sunday night. Hereth would edit, and then he would give it to me to cut up, and then that would release. And then Thursday would be regular podcast day, and then Thursday night into Friday would be Rings of Power, and then we'd have to do it was just
and then Andor at the end, and then Andor came at the end.
Andor, dude, there was a time where they were all coming out. I think it was a 2-week stretch. All 3 of them were coming out at the same time. Those 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, and Andor, we were debating just doing the first 2, and then we're like, well, screw it, we're up anyway. Let's just do this 3rd episode as well.
Oh my gosh, I'm so scared of covering Andor. That's a tough show. It's really tough.
It's tough. It's
very,
good.
but it's just really tough.
Yeah, a lot of conversations that a lot of people aren't ready to have.
Mm-mm.
And I think that's what differentiates Andor from a lot of Star Wars content, because it. And honestly, I'd throw Obi-Wan in there as well, because I think you have to think about characters, and it really makes you think.
Mm-hmm.
Like both of those shows really make you think about what is this story trying to tell you?
Yeah.
And in Andor, more for the political side of it. Obi-Wan was more of like a character study where people weren't paying fucking attention at all.
Oh, there's no politics in Star Wars. What are you talking about?
No, it's not. It's not in the name. It's not in the name. Come on, jackasses. Hereth, where can people follow you?
I love how we just completely left the rails again. But anyway, you can find me at Hereth Productions on TikTok and Instagram. You can find me at Hereth_edits on Twitter, and of course, you can find me here on the Pod Ones.
Char J, where can the good people follow you on the social medias?
Okay, well, Luke, now I prefer fantastic people. Is what you said.
Oh my God.
I was like,
oh Jesus. Okay, where can the fan? For fuck's sake, why are you being a diva? Not
not
like
for fuck's
good
sake,
divas that they
fantastic.
are. Not you're being a asshole. All right.
no, I'm
I
not
don't
being good for
appreciate
the
that.
fantastic people.
Also, shout out to Kenny for keeping track of this.
He's counted every single time the show is derailed. That is dedication. But also, before I tell where the fantastic people can follow me, I just want to read this. Yes, X-Wing about Rey Skywalker was flying that ships, his hides in the missions. Captain Rex was there as my take. The Chopper has a voices and is me, my real name. I play Chopper voices just now.
Okay, I wonder, does this person use ChatGPT as their like comment? Like they just go type in the most random thing and see what they come out with?
I don't know.
Okay, we got to stop feeding Kenny. We got to stop feeding Kenny. But anyways, fantastic people. You can find me on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram at Char. J is spelled right here. And you can find me here at the Pod Ones podcast every Thursday night as we cover our Star Wars Rebels rewatch.
You can find us at the Pod Ones on all of our social medias. Go check out our Bad Batch reactions. We put that content out. It doesn't get a whole bunch of views, but I feel like that's because Bad Batch doesn't get much respect because it's animation. But if you want to support us, go check out that video, like, comment, subscribe. If you don't want to miss any of our other videos, next week we will be back talking about the Zeb and Callus.
You get Feral Alanis.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah. And also tomorrow, check us out on Chris's Twitch and
here. Yep.
As we talk about diversity, or not the divisiveness of the Cancel Bite sequence in The Last Jedi.
Oh, I can't wait for that one.
It's gonna be wild. But that's gonna be it. On to the next one. Fighting for life.
We are all the Republic.
And may the wow be with you.
Always. God damn it. This is why we can't have nice things. God damn it.